Yeah, you can do it.
I said to John,
Hey, Spanish is yours.
Yeah, just stand, Anthony. Yeah, yep. Call the meeting to order. It's 10 o'clock, and we'll get started on our agenda. First thing I'd like to do is just welcome everyone that's here today. I think I have a list of everyone that wants to speak during the public comment, so I'm going to just go right down this list. And if you would, kind of the rules of the public comment, we're going to allow you 3 minutes each to speak on whatever topic you're here to speak on. And we want you to just present information to us as a board. We're not going to interact with you. We're not going to discuss any of the issues that are brought up, but we are going to give you the opportunity to give us information about your topic, okay? All right, very good. We'll start off with the invitation. Mr. Jack, would you do that for us?
Our Father God, we come to you this morning and ask for your leadership and your guidance as we deliberate over the affairs of the district for this monthly board meeting. Help us to work cooperatively and openly, and for taking care of our affairs, for the cities that we represent and the district itself collectively. Father, we thank you for loving us. We thank you for caring about us. May we act in a manner that glorifies you and honors you in all that we say and do. It's in your Son's name we ask it. Amen.
Amen. Very good. Thank you, Mr. Jack. If everybody please stand, we're going to do the Texas and the American flag salute. We'll do the U.S. flag first. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Texas flag. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Thank you very much. You may be seated. Item number 3 is to recognize all of the guests in attendance today, but since we have several, I'm going to kind of just go down this list, and if you did not sign up to speak in public comment, when all the public comment is over, if you would, before you leave, at least stand up and give us your name and who you represent and that information for us, so we'll have a record of who is here in terms of the number of people that are actually here today, okay? So, we will start with our public comment, and I have the first person on the list is Steve Sultan, consultant, landowner, real estate. Mr. Steve?
Well, I didn't have mimosas for breakfast. I have vertigo this morning, so I should have had mimosas because I am drunk. So, I've been a resident of East Texas since the early 70s. Ran my real estate business, my forestry consulting business. Had a marina on Lake of the Pines for over a decade. So my concerns are water. And the environment and the ecology. I have master's degrees in forest hydrology, so I am concerned about water. I have a lot of questions that I would like to have answered that I don't understand. So in the essence of time, because you have so many people to speak, I'm going to send a list of questions that I personally want answered because I don't understand what's going on, and I want to understand to see where I stand.
Absolutely.
So I am going to send questions to the board of who's in control, what's the deal with the water, what's the time frame, all kinds of questions that I personally need answered.
Yeah.
but I think I echo the sentiments of a lot of people sitting here. We're very concerned about how the sale of water to Dallas or anyone will affect our economy, you know, the environment. Downstream, I own a substantial amount of rental properties fronting Caddo Lake that affects, that concerns me too, a lot of investment. So I'm not going to take any more of my 3 minutes other than to say I hope that the board listens to the complaints or the concerns of the public that's here. We're here for a reason.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. I think that's a great way to handle that, is send in a list of questions to us so we can respond to those questions and hopefully give you some factual information about what's going on, okay? Next, I have Mark Hampton and Forestry Real Estate also.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Hi. Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, my concerns are, the statement I have is for this, way I understand it, the sale of water to Dallas. And as I'm a Longview resident, I know we buy water from Longview from here, but my concern is just the sale of the water and how it might affect Longview. I also was a marina owner on Lake of Pines for years, and I know how the low water level affects on the dollar. And I also have real estate on Caddo Lake, and low water, you know, all flows downstream. So this is really my concerns, and the questions, like I say, will come later in a format, give you time to answer.
Yes, sir.
That's it.
Thank you. And I guess I would say, just going forward, once we get those questions, if y'all would share,
Yes.
and we get our answers back to you. If there's any additional, then send those, and we want to answer. We want to be very open with this process, okay?
Okay, great, thank you.
You're welcome, sir. Is that Sharon Williamson,
Yes.
State Office? Yes. J. Dean? Yep.
Good morning. Thank you for allowing me to speak this morning. I am the District Director for State Representative J. Dean, and he wanted to be here today, but Austin Business calls him to be there, so he sent a letter and asked me to read it. If you would just be with me just a few minutes. It says, Dear Northeast Texas Municipal Water District Board members, since 2017, I have served as state representative for House District 7, including Gregg, Harrison, and Marion counties, and previously Upshur County. Prior, I spent a decade as mayor of Longview and served on the city council before then. East Texas is a region unlike any other. We are home to an incredible natural treasures such as Lake of Pines and a recreational asset for our entire area, and Caddo Lake, the only natural lake in Texas. The historic town of Jefferson's identity is deeply tied to Big Cypress Bayou and Caddo Lake, making these resources central to both our heritage and our future. In this beautiful community, my wife and I have built a business, raised our 3 daughters, and now enjoy time with our grandchildren. While many other parts of Texas face scarcity, we are blessed with these abundant resources. At first, sharing our resources with other regions might seem like a win-win opportunity. However, the weight of this decision falls on your shoulders, and what you decide will profoundly impact our community's future. Therefore, I strongly urge you to approach this decision with 2 things in mind: transparency and public engagement. Discussions must happen in the open with a fully informed public. Long-term community protection. Any agreement must provide protection for East Texas now and in our future.
Yes.
Please consider ways to preserve control of our water resources, such as leasing water rights rather than permanently selling them. Even a lease must include safeguards and guardrails to protect our area. Please think about not only what your needs are today, but how you will protect the needs of our future generations. From experience negotiating water contracts as mayor of Longview, I know that you must get these protections in writing up front. Please lean on the expertise of those who understand the legal, environmental, and community impacts of these decisions, especially the unique ecosystem of Caddo Lake downstream. If we fail to protect this crown jewel, all of Texas, and maybe the whole country, will never forgive us. Finally, please know you cannot rely solely on the permit process to protect our community's best interests. The big cities will seize every advantage, and we in rural Texas must stand united together to preserve what makes our region so special. Please proceed with caution and avoid decisions that cannot be undone. It would be very easy for this to become a win for the Metroplex, but a great loss for East Texas. Thank you for your thoughtful consideration. Our entire community is counting on you to make decisions that reflect the values and priorities of East Texas. God bless J.D. Thank y'all for allowing me, and one more thing Jay asked me to relay is that I am the district director. I work here in the district. We have a full staff in Austin, and all of us are always available to anyone, pretty much anytime. In fact, the local phone's answered 24/7 because it gets forwarded to myself. So we're here if you have questions, if we can answer any questions to anybody, or any time that we can help. Thank you for your time.
Very good. Yes, thank you very much. Relay to Representative Dean that we got the letter, and we are very much listening to what he said in the letter to us.
Thank you.
Okay,
Appreciate that.
you're very welcome. Yes. Okay, Trish Jones, City of Uncertain,
Yes.
right here. Okay.
Thank you very
Yes,
much
ma'am.
for letting me be here to have a few minutes and share my concerns. And I actually wear two hats today. The first hat that I'm going to speak to you under is as an alderwoman for the City of Uncertain. Our mayor wanted to be here today. She had an unfortunate incident this morning and she's not able to be here. But she asked me to please share that, first of all, our city council has met and discussed this, and we are extremely, extremely concerned, obviously being downstream from what could happen with these potential sales. We're very concerned about the flow into Caddo Lake, as it would, if anything is altered in an adverse way, that's going to adversely affect our businesses. It's going to, including our tour guides, people who, these companies make their living off of the tourism, and obviously the people like myself who live on the lake and hope that I can pass, my home on to my future generations. We also, as a council, have concerns about the growth of the cities that are, the 7 cities that are participating. With that growth, is there going to be enough water to take care of the businesses that come in, the people who come in to work at those businesses, and those people then purchasing homes or building homes? Is there going to be enough water? And then my other hat that I wear is that I am also president of the Caddo Biocontrol Alliance in Uncertain. We raise weevils and put them out on the lake for the sole purpose of controlling giant salvinia. And giant salvinia, I assume you're very aware of it since it is on your website, a photo on your website, including people who have volunteered in the past to fight giant salvinia. And so you, I assume, know that it does grow exponentially, and within 4 to 6 weeks it can be, over 4,000 square feet of coverage. That coverage then blocks the light, that then blocks the oxygen, the plants cannot grow, that obviously affects the underwater life, which then affects the above water life. So we are very, very concerned about that as we are fighting this giant salvinia on Caddo Lake. And if there's an improper flow of water, then we do get some relief from salvinia by it floating over the spillway in Mooringsport. If that's altered, then that is going to just back up the salvinia, and it's going to continue to grow exponentially. And that means that Texas Parks and Wildlife is going to have to come in and spray even more. They're going to spray chemicals that have already been banned in other countries, and it's very likely it will be banned here in our country as well. So we are very concerned about our businesses on Caddo Lake, the residents on Caddo Lake. We are very concerned about the possible damage to the lake and its flora, fauna, all the wildlife due to salvinia potentially getting backed up. So thank you very much for listening, and we hope you take that into consideration as you consider this and consider safeguards to keep everyone and all of the animals, all of the people safe. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, next I have Stella Barra, Greater Caddo Lake Association.
Yes, sir.
Here.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for having me. I'm here on behalf of my husband Ted and Greater Caddo Lake Association. Ted and I have been on Caddo Lake at Ames Springs Basin for about 26 years now. And we are both on the GCLA board. Ted is on the Caddo Biocontrol Alliance board. And we are here to speak on behalf of those organizations and GCLA. When Lake of the Pines was built, it was built for water preservation, not to make money. The cities surrounding it were not intent on making money when that reservoir was built. Flood control is very important indeed. The water that's reserved at Lake of the Pines is not wasted. I just want to be clear from that. It's far from it. It's used by Cypress Basin, by Little Cypress, by Caddo Lake, and equally important, the forests that surround for hunting and camping and fishing. Those issues are very important. My questions are, when will we see some maps and some charts and some science to let us know exactly what is being proposed? What happens when there's a drought? What happens if there's another flood? What rate is this going to be pumped? All those questions need to be answered. Will Dallas really care if Caddo Lake is dying?
No.
Will Dallas really care if tourism is affected?
No.
The lake levels? Ted and I are personally aware, and several of the other GCLA reps here, of other instances where cities and organizations have attempted to alter the environment and the whole status of Caddo Lake by Marshall trying to accept water and sell it to Perky. There was an attempt even to raise the Weir Dam so that the water levels were raised over 4 feet. Can you imagine in 2016 and 2018 if there had been another 4 feet of water flowing into this area? Devastating. Why would you support moving water from one watershed to another watershed? The water rights are invaluable. As you know, they cannot be repurchased, just like buying your house. You can't get it back. This is a status of country living versus city living. That's not for sale. I just would ask you to go slow, get yourself educated, make sure you make the very right decision. This affects my grandkids. My great-grandkids just got a new one, first one, but anyway, thank you for your time, and please consider your very momentous decision.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
I'm a real avid bass fisherman, and Ames Springs is a really good spot to go bass fishing. I fished it a lot. Thank you, ma'am, appreciate it. John Roman, Greg Peeler Entities.
Yes, John Rowan, I represent Greg Peeler on a number of levels. Serenity Ranch owner in the Big Cypress Bayou. I'd echo all the comments that I heard before me. Also worked with Jay Dean some, so just echo all those things. And Mr. Peeler has made a significant investment in this community. I live in Tyler, and we've dealt in the past similarly with Lake Palestine, and I've noticed some of the retiring Dallas folk are looking for a place to go in the country, and they'll come to Tyler largely for the medical care, and they'll end up looking at Palestine and knowing that Palestine has sold their water to the big city, and they won't go there. They'll go to Lake Tyler, or they'll come out here, or Lake Cypress Springs is another example of a lot of Dallas folks. So the effects of a decision like this are huge, and they go on for a very long time, and they can't be undone like I just heard. So I would proceed with great caution before making a decision like this, because it can't be undone, and it has myriad effects on life for the people in this community, as well as the future, our children and grandchildren. So just want to lodge an opposition vote to this for Mr. Peeler and his entities.
Thank you very much, appreciate it. Seanlin Parr is here.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
ma'am.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
You're very
First of
welcome.
all, my first question would be, what is the driving force behind the sale of this water from Lake of the Pines? I know water's been very contentious, but I'm not gonna refer to it as Dallas, I'm gonna refer to it as Region Water C, District C, as opposed to District D that we are in. And I know it's been contentious with Marvin Nichols, and certainly now with the proposal of the sale of water from Lake of the Pines. And certainly it has an environmental impact, all of these things. In perusing the 1,100-page regional District C plan that they gave to the Texas Water Development Board, I find it very interesting that there are 34 current reservoirs in the Metroplex area. I think that they're coming after us because they see us as low-hanging fruit.
Yes, exactly.
We're easy.
Yes.
And in the consideration, I would respectfully tell you that when going through this, they are actually making projections on water based on population, et cetera, to 2070 and for the next 50 years. In the sale of this water, it's my understanding that it would be a 30-year payout, and we would be paid off in 30 years. But Region C would own the water. North Texas Municipal Water District would own the water in perpetuity. Now that, I will agree with Mr. Ostad on one thing. That is our most precious resource. And it will only grow more valuable. It's not going anywhere. I don't believe that any one of us has a crystal ball to know what our economic development is going to be.
Yes.
And as people come into this state, they're going to look for water first. How blessed are we in East Texas to be able to say that we have water? And so it's going to bring economic development to us. And I could promise you, if you would consider whatever you might gain in the sale of water to these 7 communities, would pale in comparison to the potential economic growth that we could realize from our water. And I know you say there's a lot of water. What's a lot? We don't know what we're looking at. We don't know what droughts are coming in. We do know that they propose that Texas will be the most populous state in this country in the next 15 years. 15 years, you stop and think, 2010 was 15 years in the past. That wasn't that far back. The older you get, the quicker it gets here. And I can promise you the next 15 are gonna get here pretty quickly. The decisions that you make are going to be profound, profound. And I would like for the communities to have as much say in that decision-making process as possible. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. And I've got one more, Melissa Berry, East Texas Natural Resources and Land Management.
Hi, everybody. If
Yeah.
I've met y'all before, it's nice to see you again. I'm retired. I worked up here most of my career for the Federal Service for Land Management. And so I've been from north to south, all in East Texas and other parts of the state. So I have also seen the challenges other parts like South Texas is facing with the Rio Grande and the other facilities that are loading and holding water to sell it. We know that across the state, the majority of the water right now is for sale if it's not attached. Texas has rules and regs. They've got a lot of information out there about what they want to do with the water. I've worked with all the industries. At some point, I've worked with y'all. I've worked all across with state and federal. So I understand kind of the give and the take, but I also know as like a landowner here, I'm concerned because I see that it could be an interest that we're not preparing for. All the other towns and cities, there needs to be, they've already reached, the larger cities have already prepared in advance. They have plans, they have everything laid out, where they're gonna get natural resources from, what their goals are, what their objectives are. We are behind. When I go to meetings across the state, they wanna know how easy East Texas is. What do we have available for them? Because we're their people that they want the resources from. So what we have is water, and it's been that way a very long time. They know we have it, they want it. I understand many of them need it, but it's part of a multi-development plan that we, as East Texas, need to develop regionally because we only have so many watersheds. Way long time ago, in the 1930s and 40s, they actually designed and developed on paper most of our water resources and lakes. They know where the designs are. They have them somewhere. They know that there's only a limited amount of areas that can hold large amounts of water. They know where all the lakes could be. Industry is interested in all those right now. You cannot go in a room with them without asking you, hey, what can you offer me? What can your town offer me? We've got a resource that we can't not look at completely on paper. And I do have questions. I had 36. So I will send those in. And what I plan to do, because since I'm retired now, I plan to be a bridge with the counties and communities that I used to represent so that I can go to them and make sure everybody kind of has an idea of what's going on. Because I have the time, and it seems like we all would like to be here, but we all couldn't be here in all the counties and communities. And they all need those papers like everyone looked at, or at least I read. I read all those Senate sheets and numerous things from the Texas Water Development Board. And nobody's going to sit down and read hundreds of pages of those except for a few of us. And it's time, so you're not alone. I spent multiple days and I was up all last night reading through them. But it's time we look at them and we see what we need. And 30 years is a long time. Many of us will not be here in 30 years. My kids will be. So we have a family business. We try to make sure I'm teaching them what I'm talking about right now so they can help people. It's got to be that we take care of our business, not somebody else's business. We need to protect our rights. And like what they say in West Texas, there is no water. That's because they used it all. We have water. We need to reserve what we need. And at that point, we decide every year what we need to take out across the region from our watersheds. That's it.
Very good, thank
A
you.
very short caveat.
Yes, ma'am.
The only thing that I would like to add, in trying to understand the decisions that you guys are having to make going forward, the cost of treating water, the infrastructure, everything that's going into place, I would ask you to look at Senator Charles Perry and what he is bringing forth with the backing of Greg Abbott and Dan Patrick and some of the different ideas that he has, but also the commitment that he has made to not only high-speed internet for the rural communities, but their infrastructure. And I understand that we have infrastructure that you guys have to deal with, you know, looking at the replacing of tanks, you know, water lines, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Let's have that discussion. Let's do that, and let's look at all possible avenues.
Absolutely. Okay, very good. That's everybody on my list that signed up. Is there anybody else that would like to speak, public comment before we close this out?
I just have a question. Dustin Nicholson, County Commissioner, Precinct 2 for Upshur County. When will the board have a open forum for the citizens so that it's not email us and we'll answer a question to you? When will the board sit down face to face and answer these questions to the citizens? Can that be put on the next agenda next month?
Well, that's something we'll discuss, and I want to just kind of make this statement going forward. If there's anybody else, we want to allow you the time to speak today for sure. All the things that have been mentioned, we're aware of. We understand those things, and I want to say this as president of this board. My name is Jimmy Cox. I'm Ore City Director, and going forward, we want to be very open and very transparent. Now, what does that mean? Public forums, I don't know the answer to that today, but what I want to say to you is that we're listening to you. We've heard what you said. We're going to answer your questions. We're going to do our dead level best to make sure anybody that wants to know or be in the know will be in the know, okay? We're gonna put that leg forward. We're gonna extend that to you as patrons that are here today that live in the immediate area, and Lake of the Pines is a very big concern.
Yes.
We understand.
Tell me your name again, I'm sorry.
Dustin Nicholson,
And
County
Upshur.
Commissioner of Precinct 2, Upshur.
If I could mention something, if you all who signed up or who additionally want information or would like to meet with me personally, I'd be happy to do it. I'd happy to set up a periodic meeting as materials are prepared to respond to the specific questions you're leaving us today. We'd like to get back not just to who asked us the question, but also to all of y'all. And like I said, I don't have your names and addresses and phone numbers and whatnot. I don't think we had that on the sign-in sheet. But I have a business card that I'd love to give you as you disperse. If you could provide me some contact information, and I'd love to meet with you. This is not about to happen as what may have been perceived, and I'd love to continue the conversation with you over the months and weeks to come.
I just want to make sure that the citizens are
Absolutely.
aware of
Absolutely.
what's happening in their
And going
area.
forward, I think you had a great idea, and the public forum is a really good way to share information, to have interaction, discussion between the people that are involved in a decision. So going forward, I can assure you there's going to be opportunities for you to gather whatever information you need about the topic of water. And basically, looking at my sheet, everybody here is here concerned about water, in particular Lake of the Pines. So that is a given with the group that's here. For those of you that are here that did not speak, we would like to have a record of your attendance. So I'm going to send this pad back here again. Just put a name on there and where you're from, just basic information, and that way we'll have we will have the information saying 25, 30, whatever people were here today with that same concern, which is water in Lake of the Pines. And who you represent, yeah, just basic information. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, it's like 8 of you have spoken to us today. So I'm going to start this sheet around, and if you would, put that basic information on there. It'll also give us an opportunity to reach out to you with questions. If you put an email address on there, once we get these 36 questions, 40 questions, whatever, and have an opportunity to respond to those, and we'll try to get that information to you, okay?
Mr. Cox, is that public forum before the 7 city councils vote on this?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, Mr. Oxtod had mentioned like 2 meetings. I think in December it was like 2 meetings
I can give you an answer to that.
before.
The member city water and the district's water are the 2 things that are in discussion here with the water. And before any decisions are made about that water going away out of Lake of the Pines, there will be public forums, there will be discussions, there will be city council meetings. Yes.
And we have members of the media here. Can we make sure the media is informed so that the citizens can be aware of this in ample time, not just 72-hour notice, that they have ample time to hear these public forums?
100%. This list, media, sign up. We're happy to share with you. We want information from you so that we can be open and transparent with you. Okay?
Thank you.
I'm going to start this list around. Any of you that would like to stay for the meeting? Okay, I will do that. Any of you would like to stay for the meeting, you're welcome to do so. You're not obligated to do that. And board, real quickly, we'll take a little small 5, 6, 7, 8 minute break while this goes around.
Thank y'all for hearing us.
Absolutely. Thank you for being here. I don't know who did and who didn't, just the name and basic information. Basically, if you put an email on there, we'll try to okay, I'm going to declare the meeting back open, and for those of you that are staying, thank you and welcome. And we're going to move item 8 up to right behind item 5. So if this time we will have item 8, which is receive the comprehensive annual financial report for fiscal year 2024 from our auditors. You have the floor, sir.
Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Appreciate the chance to be here with y'all today, and thanks for allowing us to do this work for you again. So let me just first say again, what a tremendous staff we all have. Rosita's is the best.
We know it too.
You know, it's very, very few places that we go that we don't have to make any adjustment entries at all to correct something, and we don't have to do that here, so she just does a tremendous job, so the controls are good, all the processes are good. I'll just highlight, if you got your report, I'll just highlight a few things for you, of significance, I think. Had a very good year financially, again. If you look on page 10 and 11 is where I'm gonna, I'm sorry, page 8 and 9 is where I'm gonna start. And I know this is a big old statement, might be a little hard to read for you, but it's the balance sheet for the three funds that the district has. And each fund this year showed an increase. The primary water district, which is Fund 100, had a $170,000 increase in cash and investments. Water receivable was up $222,000. Accounts payable actually was down about $100,000. We ended the year with about $55,000 accounts payable. So the fund balance, or the net position of the Fund 100 increased by $358,000. And we'll look at a moment as to why that did increase. Fund 200, Regional Water Supply System, again, a nice increase in cash position of $100,000. Receivables were up $70,000. The actual the fixed assets, we put $756,000 into fixed assets there in this fund. One thing of note is that we did pay off one of the debts, the 2013 bonds have been paid in full now, so that's paid off. And then in that fund, we had an increase in net position of $849,000. And then Fund 300, which is Lake of the Pine South Side, saw an increase of $699,000 in there. So good increases to the net position compared to the prior year. And if you look at the next page, on page 10 and 11, as I said, the Fund 100 Primary Water District increased $358,000. As you can see, compared to the prior year, we had a loss in that fund. One of the reasons that well, a couple of reasons really. The transfers out of Fund 100 were less. We didn't have to transfer as much out to 200 and 300. And also, our expenses were less. Personnel costs were down $100,000. Contractual services, professional services, we didn't have near as much legal expense as the previous year. So that was down $300,000. Fund 200, as I said, we were up $850,000 approximately. Of course, the water sales in that fund were up $875,000. And then the expenses were actually down a little bit in that fund. And then Fund 300, as I said, we were up in that fund as well. An increase of $1 million in that fund. So again, finances are strong. Don't have any problems to tell you about. Everything's in good order. If you have any questions, I'll try to answer.
I'm going to accept the audit. I'll second. I got a motion and a second to accept the annual audit for fiscal year 24. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Ayes have it, motion carries. Thank you very much, sir. We appreciate
Good to see
you.
you guys.
You bet.
Laney, good to see you, man.
Yep, yep.
Good job,
Thank you.
Lane, good to see you.
Good to
Thank
see
you.
you. Thank you.
Sir, for your hard work,
Yeah, thank you.
knowledge.
Yep, yep. Yes, outstanding as usual. We expect nothing less, and you deliver. Yep, yep. Okay, very good, very good, very good. Let me get my agenda back here again. All right, so we have taken care of item number 8. We will go back to item number 6, which is the minutes of the December meeting. If you'll take a look at those, if there's any additions, subtractions, or corrections we need to make, let us know. Otherwise, I'll entertain a motion to approve. Got a motion by Sandy?
Second.
Second by Jack to approve the minutes of the December meeting as presented. All those in favor of that motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Ayes have it. Motion carries. Item number 7. Approval of monthly investment report, financial reports, and payment of invoices for professional service. Ms. Osiris.
In your packet, you have the invoice from Corello. He ordered a membership dues breakup for the Salvinian Spring, the USGS Joint Summary Agreement. That, they bill us quarterly, but we like to pay the full year because we request reimbursement from AP and the City of Marshall. They pay us back, so that's why we pay that one in full. And then, of course, the audit was in the packet. What wasn't in the packet, I left on top of your desk, was pledge law services for the month of December.
2530. Yeah.
Yes. And then as far as the investment report, you saw a decrease of about $330,000 from the previous month. That's because we paid the Corps of Engineers this month, so we had to move money. And so that's why you see the drop in the investment report. As far as financials, for capital, we started working on the Tenor Fire Restoration number 2, and also that $4,000 expense that you see was not in the budget. It was an opportunity we had when the Dangerfield line broke. The city contractor broke it, and so they were repairing it, and we thought we'll take advantage of them repairing it, and we put it in the valve. So that's that expense that you see there. And then, of course, the Corps of Engineers payment was paid this month. And I think that that's all. If you'll have any questions, those are the major things for this month.
How far down the court payment? How far off were we on yesterday?
So we budgeted 561, and it was 382. And we budget off of, they send us.
Right.
They send it to us.
Right, okay.
About 180,000 down.
So
Yeah.
68%
Yeah.
paid is what it would have been.
Good.
I'll make a motion to approve the monthly investment report, financial reports, and payment of invoices.
Okay. Got a motion by Robin, second by Stan. All those supporting the motion to approve the financial report signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Ayes have it. Motion carries. We are on agenda item number 9, and I believe that's where we go into executive session. Okay. At this time, and that is 10:51 a.m., the board will recess and close executive session under section 551.072 Government Code to discuss the sale of real property and section 551.074 of the Texas Government Code to discuss annual performance objectives for the district general manager. No final action shall be or will be taken during the closed session. At the conclusion of closed session, the board will reconvene open session open to the public. Okay, we are officially in closed session. 10:51, 12:45. We are moving to item 10 on the agenda, which is the general manager's report.
Just a couple of quick things, I don't wanna belabor, this very long meeting. In your, board packet, you had the article from the JIPCO, explaining, the conversations with, the city of Jefferson and, also the initial, concerns raised by Cattle Lake Institute with regard to the water sale. Also is some information with regards to SWEPCO's planned plant improvements, which I think is great news at Perky and Welch. So I wanted you to be aware of those two things. That article is in your board packet. Upcoming association meetings, Texas Water Development Board's biennial Water for Texas conference, Austin, the 27th and 29th. Dominic and I are gonna be there, and we also have the visit I mentioned scheduled with Senator Hughes. Red River Valley Association meeting is the 26th and 27th of February in Shreveport. I need to know if y'all are wanting to attend those meetings. You need to tell Araceli ASAP, because we need to get you rooms and get you registered.
Just one night, the 26th, right?
Yeah. And please communicate with Araceli on that. It sounds like it's.
Well, I thought you already did. You asked me.
Yeah, I already knew you were going.
Yeah.
Sandy and Jimmy.
Let me check, let me go
Okay.
home and check my calendar.
All right, Pat?
No, I won't be going.
Stan?
Not going.
All right, Texas Water Association Annual Meeting, March 5th through 7th in Austin. Right now, I've got me and a couple of staff and Jimmy, Jack, and George. Is anybody else planning on taking?
I'll make that one.
Austin, TWA conference.
I could probably go to that one too.
March 5th, 6th, and 7th.
March 5, 6, 7.
It's in Austin.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you. Pilgrims, Pat, we've been talking to Clint, there's no, we haven't seen white smoke or black smoke, or both smoke, coming out of the smokestack yet. One of the reasons we're attending the, Texas Water Development Board meeting is Dominic's gonna be pursuing a project information form or multiple ones. Do you wanna mention that to them?
Yes, so, by next board meeting, we should present you with a total amount of, project information for request we're gonna present. KSA is helping me put this together professionally, so we're going to request the Clearwell project, the ordering project, water to Pittsburgh project, and the Southside Tank project. None of this is something we are obligated to pursue, but we're putting ourselves in line that this is something we are planning to do. And based on available funds, we will just we'll be in line if those funds become available. So this is very good pro forma way of saying we are going to grow, we want to improve all the stuff, and we want to be in line. So this is the next logical step for this organization. And again, it doesn't obligate us to use these funds if financially or for any other reason we pick different path. It's just a step to achieve something we're planning to do. That conference will allow us to see every single other option that's available by Texas Water Development Board, and that will allow a series to present the best path, or to go to open market, or to use Texas Water Development funds. There's another fund we're trying to maybe qualify as water conservation projects, which a Clearwell could be used for it, and the dewatering project is all how we're gonna word it. So there's gonna be a lot of working meetings during this. It's an important step.
Dewatering is our thing where we.
It's a centrifuge, yes, it's a sludge, yes.
Very proactive process for NETMWD.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay, very good. All right, Mr. Wayne, anything else on general manager's report?
Nope.
Okay, we're moving to item number 11, that's the, water production operation report.
Hey, Guilty, you wanna approve his goals?
Oh, yeah, that was, part of it, yes. I'll entertain a motion to approve the general manager's objective for FY 2025 as presented. I got a motion by.
Second.
And I got a second. All those supporting motion to approve the general manager's objectives as presented, signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Ayes have it, motion carries. Thank you, and, thank you, Pat, for reminding me. Dominic.
So I'll try to really wrap it up quick. First of all, maybe because of, the visitation we have here today, current lake level for this morning, 228.62. The conservation pool sits at 228.5. We are over, we're fuller than the conservation pool. And just for the record, currently we are releasing 188 million gallons a day, which takes exactly 5 days to use all the water we're using at Tanner plant for a year. So that just concerns of how much water we've got for the record. 5 days, and that's the one annual production of the Tanner plant and member cities and all our customers when they're using the water from Lake of the Pines. So, and this is the very minimum release. Those go 2,000 times more.
Dominic, pardon me, but, January 25, that number is 228.6. What did you just tell me?
As of this morning, so the 25th was 228.68, as of this morning is 228.62. I update the list, the list is.
Unchanged, okay,
Yes.
essentially, okay.
Groundwater quality is considered good at this time of the year. We are not experiencing any problems. On the Pittsburgh side, we replaced the settled water flow meter. We finally got different solution to the timer. So we are patching it up as we go. I mean, trying to make it as cost efficient as we can. And the plant is operating. We are going to install, now we have an internet, properly working internet, thanks to Clint's intervention with people's internet. We got a fast connection there. We just switched everything to that internet, so the SCADA is working off of it, phone lines, etc. It took a little bit. We are no longer at AT&T account, saving a lot of money with this. So we are going to put now proper security cameras in place, which Tanner plant, which operates 24/7, will be able to monitor. It will help probably with our insurance and the risk management, etc. So it's just another step right now with all the resiliency we have to keep improving on the security of the water treatment facilities. Since Pittsburgh is not 24-hour facility, we need something there, making sure that nobody's climbing a tank or doing some sinister stuff when everybody sleeps. So that's not going to be a massive cost. We are discussing to put it. Probably will be. I'm thinking it will be under the capitalizing, but we'll see where we land with that. On the Tanner side, so something that is not in the report and it literally just happened. Is we, about 10 days ago, we experienced a apparent leak to our trend analysis. There was a leak, some sort of leak on Avenger Jefferson line. It happened Friday, early, in the middle of the night. Operator called, we started researching it. There was just, of course, at the start of the freeze coming in. So we made a decision of letting it go for a couple of days. But unfortunately it got worse, so then we mobilized on Saturday. We ended up finding it. It was not on our line, but it was on the Harlton line. But it's pulling off of the Jefferson line. So they had a 12-inch completely severed, flowing at 1,000 gallons per minute. They create a little lake in the forest, yes. So they gone out, they're repairing it, but we found it. But that created a little overtime, but again, response was very quick. On the capital improvement projects at 24-25, so I told you guys that we had a finding of some substances in the paint of the Hugh Springs tank. Well, the people who we rewarded a bit, McGuire, they unfortunately tried to what do they call it, kind of bait and switch us. So on the project they bid on, they added another $155,000 to finish the job. They told them no, thank you, finish inside, and we shook hands. We actually had the other bidder stepped in, and instead of spending additional $155,000, we secured the same job for additional $30,000. So I think that's a humongous savings, and the project is moving forward and it will be accomplished. We have some concerns with the job they did on the inside. It is up to the spec, but we're gonna be testing this tank very thoroughly during the next year, just in case there's any warranty work which needs to come in. That just proved that not always the lowest bid is the best, but we did our due diligence checking them. They checked out. Unfortunately, again, it's not enough to go legal way, but we're gonna hold them accountable to a warranty. So Hugh Springs tank is progressing, and on top of it, we are actually improving on the vault and the delivery of the water. We're improving on the SCADA and operation. Like I was telling you guys, only Dangerfield had the controls over the level of the tanks. Now Hugh Springs will have it, which will allow this water to be recycled better without us turning valves. The next one will be Avenger, Jefferson. We're gonna make this the next level operation present at every site. We're gonna put the chlorine residual analyzer, which will help the city, and we spoke with Tim, he's very cooperative. So the new pump station is about to run. There's a new mag meter. I mean, we are progressing in a very good directions with it. So I'm very proud of it, and hopefully by next board meeting, maybe I'll have a finished product for you. We pulled, if you guys were aware of it, I told you that we pulled pump number 3 and 4 from raw water, and those were the pumps which they quote us about $67,000 to repair 2 small pumps, 1 million gallons each. wait for one more quote, and it looks like for maybe 40,000 more than repairing those two, we are able to put brand spanking new 4 million gallons VFD, which will double the capacity of those pumps, and it will be for future expansion. So most likely we're gonna go this route. I'll be probably nagging a series to do it ASAP. We'll see if we can find some money for it. So those are some good news. The quotes are coming back really nice. We kept the motor from the previous one. It's gonna be humongous savings. It's in good condition. It's repaired. So some good things are happening as well. So we were down to 2 pumps. Normally that's not a problem because one is perfectly capable of doing it. Where Murphy Law comes to play. The moment the cold weather happened with the Jefferson leak, we had to start a second pump. 30 minutes into run, boom, the VFD blew up. That's the one which is on the next year to be replaced. So that just proves we know what's broken. It's just we almost like can't catch the break. And so anyway, there was a record time Friday evening that blew up. Tuesday morning, the new VFD was in, and then some of you knowing those parts are not, you can't walk into the store and get it. So we had a 250 horsepower brand new VFD, it's operational. So there was a 8-hour window where we were down to 1 pump, and I really didn't sleep good in that 8 hours. But we are back to 2, and it's all good. So there's some scary moments which you guys will never know because it doesn't affect you, but in our world, those are the scary ones. But it just proves the point. You never know. It's hard to sometimes, prepare for this. The mag meters have been ordered for the master meters for all your lines, and that will be some work we're gonna be doing very soon. And we also had a damage to the cords on the sludge pump, floating pump. The repair would be very costly, but we have a really good crew of mechanics right now at the Tanner plant. And we pulled some resources, mind and knowledge together, and we're repairing it for cost of few parts in a house. So okay, that was probably the fastest report I can do. There's a couple pictures. So that's that portion right here. If you look, that is a fan which supports the old VFD. That VFD drive here is 23 years old. The life expectancy is about 15. The guy we called to help us repair this board, so the company in Houston says, we have, I quote, I'm sorry for being direct, I quote, they said, we have one more folk alive who worked on them. And they called that guy and he's like, oh, send me the drive, I will over the weekend look at it. I'm like, no, we're not sending you the drive. We're just gonna put the new one in. So they are all on the list. We are down to 3 more, and we're gonna discuss to maybe speed this up because it seems like they've really reached their life cycle. So anyway, that was replaced. There's the crew already working on it. That's our VFD room. There's the SCADA boxes and everything else. So really, we have a really quick answer with our electrician, and everything was mobilized. It's good to know that in case something happens, we can really turn it around in record times. We also did some changes to our potassium feed. We're still waiting for states to approve our exception. We believe we're gonna be successful. And just to give you a little bit, the last thing about McGuire, which we let go, and they only finished on the inside of the tank, just to tell you cooperation with them and communication. So before the final bill, they still owed me bolts to go on the 2 manways. So they send the people from Dallas carrying those 70 pounds of bolts. They give it to us. Those are the bolts they give us. Those are the bolts I needed. So just to tell you, this whole project was like that. So this is the one I needed. This is what they gave me. So it just proved, yeah. That's all I have. I'm sorry for taking too much time.
Not a problem. Great report, Dominic. Anybody, board members have a question for Dominic, concerns? Okay, very good. Thank you, Dominic. We appreciate it.
Will that be the record?
Yes, I think you did.
Yeah. And item number 12 is consider February 24th, 2025 for our next regular meeting date. That is the 4th Monday, our normal regular meeting date. I will entertain a motion. I got a motion for I got a second for February 25th for next regular meeting of the board. All those supporting that motion signify by saying aye. Those opposed, same sign. The ayes have it. Motion carries. I will entertain a motion to adjourn. I got a motion. I got a second.